Salvador da Bahia. Just saying the name conjures up images. Exotic, vibrant, alive. This ain't no Rio Beach party though. This city, perched on Brazil's northeastern coast, is different. It's raw. It's real. It's where the soul of Brazil beats loudest. The first Portuguese settlement in Brazil, Salvador, was once a major port in the transatlantic slave trade. That history, brutal as it was, is baked into the city's DNA. It's visible in the faces of the people, the rhythms of the music, the flavors of the food. But Salvador is also a city of joy, resilience, and creativity. It's a place where African, Portuguese, and indigenous cultures collide and coalesce into something truly unique. It's a city that will grab you by the soul and never let go. Walk the streets of Salvador, and you'll feel the weight of history all around you. The city is a living museum of colonial architecture, with cobblestone streets, grand churches, and pastel-colored buildings. But look closer, and you'll see the African influence everywhere. In the drumming circles that erupt in the streets, the smell of acarajé frying in palm oil, the brightly colored clothes of the baianas selling their wares. This is a city where Catholicism and Candomblé, a religion with roots in West Africa, coexist side by side, where the Portuguese language is infused with words and phrases from Yoruba and other African tongues. It's this fusion of cultures that makes Salvador so special. It's a place where the past is never truly past, but rather a vibrant part of the present. No trip to Salvador is complete without a visit to Pelourinho, the city's historic center. A UNESCO World Heritage Site, Pelourinho is a maze of narrow streets lined with brightly colored colonial buildings. Here you'll find some of Salvador's most important landmarks, including the São Francisco Church, known for its stunning gilded interior, and the Fundacao Casa de Jorge Amado, a museum dedicated to the life and work of the famous Bahian writer. But Pelourinho is more than just a collection of historic buildings. It's a living, breathing neighborhood, home to artists, musicians, and artisans. Spend an afternoon wandering its streets, soaking up the atmosphere, and you'll understand why Salvador is considered one of Brazil's most culturally rich cities. Section 4. A culinary adventure awaits. Bahian cuisine is a delicious reflection of the region's diverse cultural heritage. Heavily influenced by African and Portuguese flavors, it's a cuisine that's both hearty and flavorful. One of the most iconic Bahian dishes is moqueca, a seafood stew cooked in coconut milk, palm oil, and a blend of spices. Another must-try is acarajé, a street food made from black-eyed peas that are formed into balls, deep-fried, and then stuffed with shrimp, vatapa, a creamy paste made from bread, shrimp, peanuts, and spices, and caruru, a stew made from okra, onions, shrimp, and palm oil. For a taste of something sweet, be sure to try quindim, a dessert made from egg yolks, sugar, and coconut. And no trip to Salvador is complete without sipping on a cold copo de suco, a freshly squeezed fruit juice that's perfect for quenching your thirst on a hot day. Section 5. Festivals of Rhythm and Color. Salvador is a city that knows how to party. Throughout the year, the city explodes in a riot of color and sound during its many festivals and celebrations. The most famous of these is Carnival, a 6-day extravaganza of music, dancing, and revelry that takes place in the weeks leading up to Lent. During Carnival, the streets of Salvador are transformed into a giant open-air party with blocos Afro-Brazilian percussion groups, and trios eléctricos, mobile sound systems mounted on trucks leading the way. But Carnival is just the tip of the iceberg. Throughout the year, Salvador hosts a variety of other festivals, including the Festa de Iemanjá, a celebration of the Yoruba goddess of the sea, and the Bumba Muboy, a traditional folk play that tells the story of a resurrected ox. Section 6. Hidden Gems and Local Secrets. While the main attractions in Salvador are certainly worth a visit, don't be afraid to venture off the beaten path and discover some of the city's lesser-known treasures. For a unique perspective on the city, take a ferry across the Bahia de Todos os Santos, the Bay of All Saints, to the island of Itaparica. Here you'll find pristine beaches, charming villages, and a slower pace of life. Back in the city, be sure to check out the Mercado Modelo, a bustling market where you can find everything from handicrafts and souvenirs to local produce and spices. And for a truly authentic Bahian experience, head to one of the city's many terreiros, candomblé temples, where you can witness traditional ceremonies and rituals.